us actually to relax for a moment and do a little reset and feel like you are at home and you are just waking up in the morning. Can I ask how many of you in some form or shape use Connected Home? Quite a lot, almost I would say 40 to 50% here. And the first thing, in the first 10 minutes when you wake up in the morning, who would already have their mobile phone in their hand or use their mobile phone? Well, let's say I think 95% of us here, I think quite representative. And just a final question to start with and to warm up. Who of you would then also use biometrics actually to even get access to their phone? Also quite a bit, half of us here. And you know that biometrics in the meantime reach, actually it's about 80% mobile phone users who really use biometrics. And the number is increasing, and it seems like when thinking about what we do in everyday life, it is becoming such a fundamental part, and it is actually a normality. Another one which is getting completely normal is the use of digital wallet. In the next 2 years, it's expected actually to have an adoption rate of 60% of shoppers. Other examples, tracking. Do you remember the days when you ordered something online and then actually you weren't at home when it was delivered, and a whole era of inconvenience started, a whole loss of time, which originally you had actually wanted to save. And these times are gone in the meantime. You can track exactly where your deliveries are. You can often even determine the time. Do you need it urgently, or actually are you okay also for sustainability reasons for it to come at whatever moment? Yesterday we talked about Amazon, how also Amazon have actually, with their logistics center, really perfectionated the delivery moment. And all this does is trying to avoid the stress that you've got, because you simply know that you might need whatever you ordered at a specific time. And you also want to save the time, so you want to ensure that you are somehow in control and you know when to expect it. There are so many other examples where it helps to avoid customer stress. Think about taxi services. It gets so normal now. You can just order your taxi via your app and you see exactly where it is. You know which one it is, which one to search for. So it takes out a lot of stress of the whole journey, when before it was actually going onto the road, searching your taxi and being dependent on it arriving. Now you know, and you might have an important meeting or you need to catch your flight, and you get reassured and can immediately relax seeing it is on its way and it's almost here. If you think about banking, banking has got completely online. Customers get used to it every day, to do everything with it. And in the meantime, even to have these seamless switches, when initially you were forced, you had to actually get out of your banking app, get somehow a code or something you needed to enter, get back in again. Now it's like talking to you and really replicating, like creating a good experience, saying, do you want me to already share this number now in your app? So everything is getting so much easier and seamless. And you see these continuous improvements, using Slack the other day, just giving you immediately the same thing. Shall we just transfer the number, this piece of information here? Do you want to move to the other device? and just click here. And it's getting all seamless, easy. So this is actually what customers experience and consumers every single day. And with mobile adoption increasing also every single day, this gets ever more important, and it gets the normal thing of life, and it's getting used to it and simply expecting it, and then expecting more the next day and expecting it to get even better. So let's move to travel. I don't know where you all came from, how your experience was, but one of the things is clear. Waiting times just at immigration can be long, very long. Sometimes 30 to 45 minutes is actually quite normal. There can be moments when it takes so much longer. When I flew to Chicago in October, where we presented actually the POC that we are talking about here for digital identity, I think the queue waiting time at immigration was about 2.5 hours, and it was in a very, very long corridor in an old building, no light, and you had to pass by the queue even to get to the end of it first. So it was a horrible experience. Now think about if I think about my 87 years old mother would be in this queue, just trying to visit family or friends, or for some reason needing to travel. So think about accessibility, which makes it even worse. Think about other travelers, think about families who are in the queues and what happens. And think about when coming out of this queue, how bad you will feel. And it's actually even worse. 36% of travelers actually don't travel because of these queues. They avoid simply that trip. And this is a huge number and a huge loss overall. And then thinking you do come out of this queue, and then you've got like these felt kilometers of walking distance at the airports to wherever you need to go, and often it's not a very nice experience, not a very inspiring experience. For sure, you will not buy anything anymore at the airport. You will just be upset and happy when you arrive wherever you are. You will be stressed, you will feel bad, and you don't even look forward to your flight anymore. You just want this to be over with. And you might find people looking like this. We don't talk about baggage today, but if then they might have lost their baggage at arrival, it would get even worse. But it's really, it can be a very, very stressful experience. What should the ideal experience look like? For me, if I had to, I worked with Kenya Airways as CCO for a while, so I know Malindi Airport is for me, I know it quite well, and it's for me a bit the illustration of what a stress-free experience is. Ultimately, as a customer, you want to arrive at the airport and just use it like you use a train, get on your flight, and get to your destination, which is ultimately your goal for a holiday, for a business trip, for whatever reasons you are traveling. So you want short distances. You just want to walk through seamlessly. You don't want to even have the stress before to know, will I really get my, will there be any issues at passport control? What can I expect? Or you have to show your passport, I don't know how many times. I think the highest I had at some stage was 10 times. And you feel like, what's happening? No one is talking to the other. Why do I need to show it so many times? And you just want to walk through, want it to be easy, maybe have time for a nice coffee instead. And maybe even to buy a souvenir for someone, or a present for the ones you are going to see instead, and just feel relaxed, or call your family. So this is why I think it's kind of this illustration of what is the perfect experience, what should it look like. And instead airports get much bigger in order to incorporate all of these different activities in order to incorporate immigration. I think arriving here, I felt, am I really on the right way? I had to walk from Terminal 1 to Terminal 2 for the immigration. Again, if my mother had been with me, I don't know how we would have done it, actually. And it's also so unexpected. It's not knowing how long will it even take. And maybe these distances, maybe even also in Dubai, when I was in Dubai the other week, it's like you then first have to take a train, you continue on. Maybe all of this could, and the airport seems to be completely overcrowded, maybe it could be avoided to have a lot more physical assets and build more if actually this could be solved in a better way. Maybe those long distances and corridors wouldn't be needed because it could be done so much smarter. And this is where actually the digital identity comes in. But it needs breaking down walls to get there and to really think through how can we make it happen. Because there are a lot of challenges around it, but this would actually mean you can replicate the Malindi Airport experience everywhere seamlessly, and you can take the stress out of the journey and customers know what to expect. As every one of us learns every day with whatever we do in our daily lives and we get used to, we expect it. And we will be able to focus on the better things. So let me show you what are the keys to actually make this happen. The fundamental keys are, on the one hand, biometrics. We already talked about them earlier, but also a seamless customer experience, a really good UX, UI design, really thinking through that it's easy, that it's also comforting. Customers want to feel the comfort when sharing data, they want to feel secure about everything they do. So this is, and reassured, so this is super important. And at the same time, there are a lot of things happening in the background with the digital verification, apps, digital wallets, and so on, which are also playing into this. So let me show to you what actually this experience could look like, and I will share with you the video from this POC that was presented in Chicago last October, where we were part of this, and I will tell you about our role a little bit later to understand what this means. But let us look at it first.
Aviation connects the world, and the experience of air travel is about to become more seamless than ever before. Digital identity technologies and biometrics will enable passengers to hold verifiable credentials in their mobile devices' digital wallets. These secure and trustworthy documents are tamper-resistant and easy to selectively share with relevant parties. Passengers can create a secure digital version of their passport through a two-step process, scanning their passport with a mobile device, which is then verified with a liveness check. These digital credentials, which remain under their control, can now be selectively shared throughout the travel process, from shopping to boarding and beyond. Passengers can also be issued other verifiable credentials, frequent flyer, student ID, and employee cards that will be stored in their digital wallet. When shopping for flights, travelers' ability to selectively share data, preferences, and loyalty status between parties will allow airlines to present a wider variety of better targeted offers to their customers and could unlock special fares. Legacy booking references and e-tickets will become a thing of the past. Instead, an order is created and issued to the passenger. All the information about the journey can now be accessed through this verifiable credential. Passengers are invited to check travel requirements. They can choose to share selected information to understand what is needed for their destination. The passenger is in complete control of their data at all times. Check-in will be a simple click. Digitally stored passport and order information can seamlessly be transferred by the passenger from the wallet to the connected systems. Travelers will no longer be required to manually input information, such as reference numbers. A short SMS will confirm flight details. Traditional boarding passes may become optional in the future if a contactless process is available at the airport. To Depending on the circumstances, travellers will be able to share their information selectively with different parties for a seamless and contactless process. This is made possible through interoperability that is supported by the industry standards IATA is building today. Our traveller is now ready to fly, with the freedom to navigate the airport using only a facial scan, to access lounges and board the flight. IATA's One ID contactless travel standards will make it a reality. Upon landing, biometric gates at immigration allow one to complete the process. All the technology necessary to do this is provided by multiple companies and is currently broadly in individual use. This proof of concept demonstrates how current standards and interoperability can shape a seamless end-to-end travel experience. The future of air travel is here. It puts travelers in control of their data and allows airlines and airports to create more secure, seamless, and personalized experiences for their customers.
Too good to be true? Not really. I think we are quite a bit on the journey. Harvey, are you still there?
I am, yes, I am.
May I hand over to you? Can you explain a little bit from the British Airways perspective what the goals were for this project, how we work together?
Yes, I think it explains it. So I think, as you see from across the top, we had airports, we had Border Force, we had IATA, we had technology providers, but we also had the airline as BA as well. So we had all the stakeholders involved with the POC, helping show that a digital identity can create this easy process for the customer and remove the friction, but also remove the anxiety for the customer, so they can flow through, know that they're going to travel, and get to their destination sort of stress-free. But that's the key thing, and I think the point here is digital identity is the technology. It's here, it's proven. We see it in neobanks and in other areas of our lives. But for us to make this happen, we need all our stakeholders to align and agree on how it's going to happen and how it's going to work, and we all need to take that step forward and do it. Not just with the airline, but also the airports, the suppliers within the airport, and also the government agencies, whether it's security or immigration. And that's really what we're showing here. That's the difficult bit, is creating that change across our whole industry, all our stakeholders, and creating a trust framework that we can work by. If you think about how it works today, the airline is responsible for doing certain things and checking documents, and if we don't do it right, then we get fined and we have to bring the customer back. With digital identity, actually the government agencies can issue a verified credential to say, yes, you're okay to depart, or yes, you're okay to arrive, before the person leaves home. And actually that flips around the trust framework and the liability model, and makes it better, because people who don't get that green tick won't actually come to the airport. They need to solve the problem early, and they're getting that early warning system before they head out to the airport. You don't want to find that out when you hit the check-in desk, packed, ready to go, only to be told you can't travel. Back to you, Ursula.
Thanks, Harvey. And what we did at Branchspace as part of this, for a traveller with British Airways, in collaboration with British Airways, we actually created the process around the check-in experience and the whole verification process. And what we found, one key element for this was also this reassuring element that I mentioned earlier for customers, to know that actually the data are always in safe hands. So there is always this link to the customer to actually agree to share the data for these purposes. And you saw this, I think, very well in the video too. And ultimately, what happens by being able to do this at home, you take away all of the stress, and you know beforehand what to expect. And actually, you know that you can have a seamless journey and go in there with much, much more confidence. Or if we think about the 36% of travelers actually who do not travel to avoid anymore, to avoid this stress, they would actually have the chance to travel again with confidence. IATA have launched the Seamless Journey 2.0 for this year. We will be participating again, and we will also cover the booking flow as part of this in order to really create the seamless journey, which is something which we are all about at Branchspace. Harvey, I think BA is considering to participate as well.
Yes, so I think yes, we would really like to take part. We've got some sort of resourcing bandwidth. We're focusing. You've probably seen in the news that we're spending. Well, BA is spending a lot of money to revitalise its customer experience, and that includes some of the tech platforms, in particular the website and the mobile app, which have an awful lot of legacy technology built into them at the moment. That's all being replaced. We're also embarking on what we call the Nexus program internally, which is moving towards offers and orders. So that's our priority at the moment. But we feel that towards the end of the year, early next year, we should be able to partake in the POC, so pick up some of the latter use cases that we're discussing in 2.0.
And we are actually excited that we are collaborating on Nexus as well. Let me just show you some quotes from our team members, because in addition to the great thing to create this POC and help to drive towards making digital identity and cross-border travel and the whole travel experience seamless and stress-free, it also helps to motivate teams. And I know yesterday there were quite a few discussions about that. Ultimately, it's not about technology, it's about the people and the customer. And it gives actually to developers, to the team members, it is something outside of the additional, of course we always innovate, we always want to do the best, but it is this additional excitement to participate in a project like this, also under time constraints, and be able actually to showcase that we can do it. And you can see that our main developer on this, he was really excited to get this project and very proud as well to be able to do this. And it was a lot about as well being able to collaborate with all of these different parties. Sometimes it was a constraining factor, but overcoming all of these problems and getting the solutions and making this happen was something which was really important for the team. And our product manager for mobile apps, she actually it was great for her and her overall team to see, on the one hand, of course, we know the importance of mobile and mobile first, but being able to work as an IATA strategic partner and as part of this project with this to make it happen and to showcase it was really exciting. So now everyone is also already really excited for the work on 2.0. And just to show again, it is actually quite a lot of different parties who are involved in this process. And it is somehow this feeling which also the team got across of great collaboration and making it happen in spite of challenges which are there, is something which I think gives all of the confidence that with 2.0 we will already be quite a bit further. We will actually cover an interline trip as well. And it is steadily moving, and it can move much, much faster. I think the more actually engagement there will be. And so we love breaking barriers, and I'm sure we talk more about this now in our panel. Thank you very much.